United Kingdom's abiding love for Indian food is complete without acknowledging the curry house. Then equally, it's incomplete without recognizing the role a place like the Bombay Brasserie played in changing the narrative. The first restaurant to do Indian fine dining in London. You'd think it would be my first port of call, but it's almost 35 years on and yes, things have changed. And so instead, I'm heading to its sister concern. At St. James Court, a Taj hotel that sits a hop, skip and jump away from Buckingham Palace is another very significant restaurant. Quilon, which opened in 1999, owes much to the path first paved by the brasserie. I'm heading inside to meet the acclaimed chef Sriram Ailur, under whose helmsmanship Quilon got its Michelin star. Sriram is the first to say it's been quite a journey for both places.
We do food from the west coast of India. So Quilon is actually inspired by Karavali in Bangalore. Because London is a melting pot of cuisines, we got inspired by different cuisines. We almost kind of extended the repertoire of southwest coast.
And I see what he means as the first course comes out. Perfect little portions. A spice-laden crab cake that's served on a swirl of kashundi, fish crusted with curry leaf and lentil, and a scallop plump and juicy. These are sweet, delicious, juicy scallops. Then you add to that the fact that they are mango and chili scallops. And well, I'm not sure there's anything I actually need to add to that.
Quilon started in 99. There was no other ethnic restaurant, so we said we should now start doing that because we thought London was ready for it, and we said let us use West Coast food because it ticked many boxes. It ticked the health angle, it ticked the less masala, less spicing angle. It naturally, inherently had it.
It really did and does. Next up, a crisp masala dosa which sits on its bed of aloo. Side by side, some chicken sukha with its magnificent marinade of lentil, cumin, coriander and chili, and a pile of lamb kothu, punchy and potent.
I have a rule. I always say in this, when we make a menu, we make sure that every dish we put in our menu are dishes that we will like to eat ourselves. So we don't do it because this looks great or it sounds trendy. No.
It's a good strategy. I too loved, perhaps a bit too much, the pickles that accompany the meal. The garlic and chili soaked oil, the nimbu too, showstoppers both. And it's in touches like this that longevity lies. Take for example the seafood. I got to try wild prawns that were two-toned and two-flavored. Pepper on one side, chili on the other. It's super smart cooking. But even better, I have to say, was the cod. Yes, an old classic that's been given new, interesting life.
The black cod, for example, we are very proud of. In fact, that is inspired by the Japanese miso cod, So we said, let us do a South Indian version of it. So we used tamarind and fenugreek, jaggery, for the marinade. And yeah,
with black cod.
Yeah.
And it's great. Also, they're not so homespun thoran with asparagus and snow peas. So easy, so incredible. Equally exciting were these stuffed legs of quail, once again jammed with the good stuff, ginger and chili and browned onions, served with mustard roasted perfectly, their robust Moorish bites. But this next really exemplifies the fun that can be had with local produce. That beloved Kerala coconut and chili fry, here done with venison. It's quality meat, of course, and bristling with spice, it makes for the perfect rib on an old favourite. And no doubt fans can't get enough of the slow-cooked lamb shanks, rich and intense with just a hint of heat. Oh, that lamb, that lamb. It is melting and spicy and salty and delicious in the best possible way. And I would bet 5 bulls worth that it's one of the hot sellers here. As is, I'm sure, actually is this, the chicken kori kasi. And every bite actually of everything I've had is bright with flavor, packed with nuance. Everything actually a Michelin star place should be. It's our flavors, it's our food, things that we know and love, but it's amped up, it's playful, it's taking advantage of all the greatest things that British grocers have to offer. And that, people, let me tell you, is the absolute ultimate formula for a very delicious meal. Here's proof. To wrap things up, I'm thrilled to spot a slice of that wonderful layered cake, the bibinka. That Goan labor of love is an unexpected but excellent choice. The Seviyan kheer is equally on the money, served hot with rose ice cream on the side. But the prettiest plate was saved for last. Look at that. Has white chocolate ever looked so good? As tempting as the chocolate and coconut and cardamom confection it actually showcases. I do understand the fast because they don't just celebrate the many joys of Indian coastal cuisine. They helped kickstart a conversation 18 years ago, and the best part is people are still talking about the place, but most critically about the food.
When you have sort of every demographic of diner covered, is that when a cuisine has come of age?
It's definitely, I think the top end, everybody concentrated there. Now it's gone to the mid-market. So it kind of shows how matured the market is. And if you look at it, all the restaurants, good restaurants in all those segments, whether it's the top or the mid, are all doing well.
Do you feel like London is legitimately as passionate about Indian food, or even what they perceive as Indian food, as Indians are themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, now in London, now there is a clear understanding about what is real Indian food
What
and
is curry house?
what is pretend. That differentiation is happening very clearly, and these mid-market restaurants are even more kind of establishing that fact even in a broader sense.
He's not wrong, which brings us to another very clever, very buzzy place, one that focuses on another corner of the Indian coast. Hoppers hasn't just got people talking. It seems they can't shut up about it either. It's a small place in the heart of the uber trendy Soho, and it looks made for the setting. Head inside, take a minute to soak that in too. It's full of fun, witty, affectionate little flourishes. Every bit of art is a nod to their inspiration. Hoppers is the newest baby from the group that have Gymkhana, Bao and Lyles to their credit, each one a hit. I was meeting Karan Gokani, part of the dream team, so he could tell me how Hoppers got Londoners hopping in, pretty much, well, non-stop.
Well, it all started off as a conversation at my wedding last year, where my brother-in-law Karan, who's the chef behind a lot of the restaurants that we have in the city here. So we started chatting and we said, look, why not do something that brings the dosa hopper to a little more limelight. There is obviously this food in parts of London, so East Ham, Wembley, the slightly suburban areas. But it's something I crave. So at the heart and soul of any concept we do is trying to create something that you'd love to go back again to eat at.
So okay, let's start slow and simple. This is a place inspired by the tables of Tamil Nadu and Sri Lanka. And so first there's this dosa done beautifully with all the trimmings, coriander and coconut and tomato chutneys. It's crisp and toothsome, just an excellent dosa, but I was taken naturally with the egg hopper, that crisp bowl of by turns crunchy and spongy magic, topped off with a runny yolked egg, served with 2 types of sambal on the side. The toughest part is deciding which one you want more, but make your pick or go for broke with both and enjoy what is essentially scoops of happiness in your hand.
At the heart of the menu, you've got hoppers and dosas. We treat them like the bread almost. So people come and ask for naan. I said, there's no naan here. But obviously, this started off as a visit to a little toddy shop, Mulla Pantal in Kerala. And then I went to several of them across South India and Sri Lanka. But the whole idea of these men going up, collecting the toddy in the morning, fermenting it, and then serving it completely unfiltered in plastic jars with fantastic food cooked by the ladies of the house was something that inspired us. You've got the shared tables. The whole point is I want people sitting together, people you never expect sitting together, and drinking, eating, sharing food.
And it's a progression. Food that doesn't stop, is staggeringly well priced, and is exactly what this desi girl surprised herself by craving. Then again, how could I be expected to resist any of the shorties? The crispy mutton rolls that are made for midnight cravings, that they fly off the plate, is no surprise to anyone who has one. One of their equally successful offerings is this, a bowl of hot butter deviled shrimp. It's the sort of bowl that has it all. Spice and salt and sweet juicy shrimp, the crunch of greens, the heat, and that utterly butteriness which makes it impossible not to have, well, just a little more.
The other thing I have to say that I'm just blown away by is the fact that they are not dancing around their heat. This is spicy food, they are serving it with heat. The sambal has it, the deviled shrimp has it. They do not assume that their audience can't handle it. I who live for spice. I'm finding it kicky and just the way I not like it, just the way I love it.
And then a dish which is certainly not regular, it's one of their creations. A big bowl of bone marrow varuval. A thick, rich, peppery and potent gravy with bones brimming with the good stuff. And there's the flaky, buttery paratha on the side. I confess this dish is one of the reasons I came here. And I chose very well.
Quirky little things. Again, offal is something we're fond of. Offal is something a lot of British people are fond of. So we wanted to have some of it on the menu. So there are the safe options. You'd say things like idli, things like mutton rolls, quite safe. A lot of people really enjoy them. But then you've got the slightly quirkier things like the bone marrow, which is now, got its own cult following.
Believe me, it should. From their curry selection, I was thrilled to bits with the fish curry with its pearls of rye sitting as proudly as caviar. It's coconutty, it's tart, it's flat out terrific. But even better, I have to say, was this, a bowl they're particularly proud of.
Black pork is something I spent a lot of time developing. It's something I absolutely loved in Sri Lanka. It's got nothing to do with the color of the pig, it's just the preparation. Fantastic dish from Colombo.
Yes, the black pork curry is pretty much as good as promised, arguably a bit better. It's all just so good. This is food that's just exploding with flavor, all of it, including this magnificent bowl. This is their shellfish kothu roti. Kothu roti is when shredded paratha is tossed with other goodies, soft-shell crabs, scallops, and shrimp in this case. Do you wonder why I look a little in love? I promise you, I'm not alone.
I mean, I was reading this list the other day where 30 London chefs had to choose their favorite restaurant here. I'd say about 12 of them chose Hoppers. They know what they're talking about. I like to think I do too, and I will tell you, I will be back. This is the place that I would travel here for. And let me tell you, South India is a lot closer than London.
We've got a massive industry following. So it's not just tourists coming in, want to tick the box and walk away. It's people you've got regulars around here who keep coming back, you see, recognize faces. You also got industry. So you've got other restaurateurs you really appreciate it. And as an Indian restaurant, that's wonderful to have.
I'm not surprised. This then is a place that manages to serve soul food that's stellar and the kind you can have every single day. It's excellent and accessible. No wonder the Lions just won't quit.